Apparently, Kuro Games fired some developers, and I haven't really heard about this at all, so let's see what's going on here.
When then, a new character reveal is more than just a marketing beat. It is an entire event. And in Wuthering Waves, Phrolova is one of those characters. She is a
I see tons of people hating on Phrolova's release. I think she's a beautiful looking character. Yeah, I mean, the band is off, kind of changed the entire design for her. Now, I'll be real, like, the only thing that I'm kind of worried about for Phrolova is I don't want her to go to being like this bad guy to like this really good guy, right? I would like morally gray characters. I'm totally cool with that. Like, even though we're playing as them, we don't know if we can trust them. I think it's interesting. I think it's like Vegeta from Dragon Ball Z, you know? There's always like a chance that they're just going to try to kill the MC again. Like, I love that. But yeah, that's pretty much the only thing I'm worried about.
unit whose official announcement was completely overshadowed by one of the messiest, most dramatic leaks we have seen in a while. She is a demon queen whose playable debut has the entire community debating what it means to forgive a villain, or if she is even a villain at all. And she is a...
Whoa, why was I even in this? Why? Okay. I have seen none of the leaks. Let's keep going here.
A gameplay solution so precise, she might finally solve the problem of another character that has been gathering dust on the bench for...
They need to kill Scar, and everybody knows it. They need to kill Scar. Yep.
months. This isn't just a new unit, this is a perfect storm of community drama, deep-seated lore, and meta-defining potential all converging on a single banner. Let's get into it. But before we get into it, if you guys want to top up on Loot Knights, but oh my god, it is so expensive. Well, lucky for you, I have a sponsor that could help with this exact issue. Thank you for ldshop.gg for sponsoring this video, where you can get Loot Knights or other in-game purchases at a discount, starting with 15% off.
That's amazing.
That is pretty good. And it's pretty simple, you guys. All you have to do is enter your UID and server, and then you go confirm the order, and then you proceed to checkout, right? And as you can see, my order got completed, and immediately you see, like, I have Loot Knights ready to use, and I can pull for the character or weapon that I want. The shop itself is very safe and reliable. On top of that, they have a discount for new users, and you can use my link down below in the description to get an exclusive coupon. And with this coupon, it brings you up to 25% off to save you a lot more, and you can even spend $80 to gain VIP status. With a VIP status, you can claim a free Loot Knight subscription and a bunch of weekly and monthly coupons. Check out the link in the description or pinned comment down below to save with LD Shop. Let's continue with the video. Right on schedule, Kuro Games has officially revealed the next character coming to the limited banner, and as many had predicted, it is Phrolova. They did this through what the community calls drip marketing. If you're not familiar with it, it is essentially a standard practice in the gacha industry. A few weeks after a new patch drops, the company releases a single high-quality image or a short video of the next patch's character. It is a calculated slow release of information designed to build hype and get people talking. You could also call it the corporate sanitized way.
Well, yeah, by get people talking, you mean getting Tectone to get in there and say, I'm gonna fuck this chick, then being the top like comments on every single Hoyoverse and Kuro Twitter post. And I'll be real, like, I don't know how they haven't blocked me yet. I'm literally trying to get blocked, and they just never block me. And I'm just like, oh, dude, this chick, I'm gonna fuck her. I'm gonna pull her, then I'm gonna have sex with her. Oh, this dude's really hot. I'm gonna let him fuck me.
Of letting us know who we should be saving our astrites for. It is clean, it is effective, and it has become complete.
Hey, I'm saving for that Hatsune Miku chick, the Iono, whatever the hell her name is. Bro, she is fine as fuck. I ain't gonna lie. Like, dude, Kuro Games is stepping up their character designs. Man, they are so good. Yeah, Iono. So fine.
Predictable. But as clean as this official reveal was, the real reveal happened months ago.
I'm still waiting for the new story patch too.
Because this wasn't your typical grainy screen recording with a massive watermark plastered across the middle. This wasn't some sophisticated data mine. No, this was a guy, an employee, who decided to record Phrolova's gameplay footage by pointing his phone at his monitor. Like a literal phone recording of a screen, which he then shared with his friend group. And you could probably guess what happened next. One of those friends leaked it to the entire internet. It is a gentle reminder that the only person you can really trust not to leak highly confidential career-ending material
is me. So send it to me, because I'll never leak. I would never do that. Trust no one, not even yourself, but you can trust me though. So Twitter DMs, twitter.com/Tectone, you can trust me.
Is hopefully yourself. Of course, once the footage was out there, Kuro Games took notice, and the consequences were exactly what you would expect.
Guys, I'm starting to think that Glaive Kiyo might be gay. Yeah, we already got confirmed. And by the way, hearts in the chat for Ryuku for coming out as gay. That took a lot of heart. That was movable. You know, that was a moving moment. Very proud of him for embracing his real identity. But yeah, I feel like Glaive might also be gay. I'm not sure though.
Justice was served swiftly. The employee was fired, required to pay a substantial fine, and
Good,
is reportedly facing.
I hope they beheaded him. Off with his head, man. Send his ass to the gallows. You leaked that shit? Hey, China, go get your ass, bro. Somebody gotta get him. Somebody gotta get him, or it's gonna be me.
Potential jail time for a gaming company they don't play. And honestly, this harsh response shouldn't surprise anyone who has followed Kuro's history. This is a company known for pursuing legal action against leakers with significant determination. Naturally, once the news of the punishment went public, the community itself split into a few camps. You had one group that firmly stood with Kuro Games, arguing that a breach of an NDA is a serious offense and the consequences, while severe, were justified to protect the company's assets. But on the other side, you had players who, while not condoning the leak, felt like potential jail time for sharing a video game clip was a wildly disproportionate response, regardless of the contract. So
nope, they stupid, they don't get it. They don't get the millions of dollars that he just cost Kuro Games by leaking that shit early and assassinating so much hype. Hey, I'll be real, he got lucky with jail time, man. In China, bro, in China, they lucky he still got a head on his shoulders, brother. That's how it is.
So while the leak gave the community an early and very raw look at Phrolova's attack animations, its fallout created this entirely separate debate about corporate justice, community ethics, and kicked off the much larger conversation that the official drip marketing is only now catching up to. And that conversation is really about one central question. Because she isn't just some morally gray side character who worked against you, she was the Demon Queen, the primary antagonist of a major story arc. We fought her. And let's be fair to the other side of this debate. The fear of a cheap redemption arc doesn't come from nowhere. We have all seen this trope in countless other stories where a truly compelling antagonist is neutered by a last-minute sob story to make them palatable.
Yeah, but what if it's the cursed bandages that have been put on her body that transform her into the Demon Queen, and once she takes off the bandages, then she becomes her true form, which is a good, sweet little guy. So then what?
The talk no jutsu to make the enemy an ally. The concern is that Phrolova's edge, her ruthlessness, will be sanded down for the sake of sales, ultimately dumbing down the narrative and removing any real stakes of moral complexity from the world. But I'm not entirely convinced that's the direction they're heading. In my opinion, nobody in Wuthering Waves is really presented as purely good or evil. The more popular theory, and one that I lean towards, is that Phrolova operates on a very strict ends justify the means philosophy. Think of it like Thanos. He genuinely believed that
Bro just said Thanos, brother. It's Thanos, bro. Do your research. What the fuck is this? Fuck this video. Disliked.
He was saving the universe, but his solution was monstrous. When you look at Phrolova's actions with this lens.
Okay, let's hold the fuck up here real quick. Thanos' solution to killing half the Earth was not monstrous. Thanos was the good guy, and the Marvel Universe were the bad guys. Okay, it was being progressive versus being conservative. Okay? All of the Marvel heroes were the progressive people. All the conservatives, they were Thanos. Because, yeah, it's like tariffs. It's like tariffs. Yeah, they're going to suck right now, but for the long run, it'll make sense, right? So, like, half of these people on the Earth, they're just parasites. That's what they were. And they're going to cause hyper-accelerated extinction where everybody dies. But, oh, man, that really hurts our feelings. Bro, they got a painless death where they died in an instant. Gone. And now the universe can continue to thrive. Thanos was saving them, and they killed him for no reason. And everybody knows I'm right.
The pattern is there. She is less of a traditional villain and more of a conductor. Someone who sees existing stagnant problems and introduces the necessary chaos to force a resolution. And that is a far more...
Half the universe. Sorry. Half the universe. Not even just the Earth. Half the universe. He saved the universe.
Interesting character to play than a simple villain who suddenly decides to be a hero. So that is the story side of things. But beyond the lore, there is a...
Yeah, but he said he doesn't feel so good. Oh, okay. So he got a little tummy ache. Only bad thing about Thanos' plan was doing it randomly. He should have just got rid of half, and that is stupid. True.
Much more practical question that her...
Yeah, just get rid of the dumb people. Get rid of like get rid of the idiots. Get rid of the idiots. And then boom.
Arrival raises. One that has to do with gameplay mechanics and a character that has been sitting on the bench for a very long time. And that is the Cantarella problem. Ever since her release, Cantarella has felt like a character without a home. Her kit is very specific. Her outro skill gives a big boost to both Havoc damage.
Yeah, I'll be real. I see 6 this chick and I don't use her. Yeah, but every now and then I'll do like a solo run as her, but I ain't using her at all, to be honest.
And skill damage. The obvious partner was Tanchin. But the thing about Tanchin is, Tanchin mains like to solo. The character is a self-sufficient parry machine who heals herself, and adding a support often feels like a hindrance than a help. So Cantarella has just been waiting for a character who actually wants what she has to offer. And
Phrolova?
now, all signs are pointing to Phrolova being that answer.
Shit.
It is confirmed that she will be a Havoc attribute, and speculated to be a resident skill-focused damage dealer. If that holds true, she is not just a good partner for Cantarella, she is the perfect partner, the missing piece of the puzzle. You can even take it a step further, with theories of a full trio of Phrolova, Cantarella,
Glaive Kyo, you beautiful, sexy bastard using Dark Souls 1 OST in your background. Holy fuck, I love you.
And even Rachia, finally making the long-neglected Midnight Veil Sonata set not just viable, but potentially optimal. This excitement for a perfect pairing also shines a light on Kuro's broader design philosophy. This isn't the first time we've seen this pattern of highly specialized locked and key synergy. Think back to the intense connection between Zani and Phoebe, where one character's kit feels tailor-made to enable the other's entire damage window. It is a reoccurring design choice to create supports whose value is almost entirely maximized by one, maybe two, specific damage dealers. Now, let's be clear here, because this is where the debate always starts. Can you clear the endgame content without putting Phrolova and Cantarella together? Of course you can. Viable quick swap teams exist, and the skilled players can make a wide variety of teams work. The argument isn't about absolute necessity to clear content. The argument is about the magnitude of the incentive. When a specialist support like Cantarella exists, and a character like Phrolova is released who can leverage her entire kit perfectly, the performance gap between that intended team and other variations is often substantial. It is not a marginal 5% difference. It can be a night and day change in both damage output and the rotational feel of the team. It creates a system where if you don't technically need the pair, the game's design is heavily signaling that a character's true potential, their intended ceiling, is intentionally locked behind their synergistic partner. My personal preference leans towards the more flexible design, but there is no denying the satisfaction players will get from finally completing this puzzle for Cantarella. It is a welcome change, even if it highlights a design trend that warrants discussion. So this all leads to the big question, especially for those of us who are low spenders or free to play. Given that Lupa's banner is coming up next, what is the right call? Do you pull now, or do you save everything for Phrolova? Let's break down.
So if you were a real fan, you'd get them both. And if you're not, well, oh well. You know what I mean? Like if you really loved Wuthering Waves so much, you'd do both. But the fact is that they're all frauds. They're all frauds. They have to save their money because they need to eat food. Oh, boo-hoo. Get a third job. If you really loved Lupa and Phrolova, you'd get them both.
Down the value. With Phrolova, we are looking at what is expected to be a top-tier Havoc DPS. The fact that she is a rectifier also means that she will have more range, likely making her easier and safer to play than many of the current melee carries. She has a clear versatility with other Havoc units, and as we have discussed, she single-handedly elevates another character. But this isn't a simple decision, because Lupa's value is also incredibly high, just in a different way. She isn't just a damage dealer, she is a unique hybrid of a sub-DPS and a powerful support. Her ability to amplify fusion damage while also contributing significantly herself gives her tremendous long-term value for an account, especially if you're building a mono fusion team. Ultimately, the deciding factor really just comes down to your account. It is less about which character is better in a vacuum and more about which one makes the most sense to you right now. The logic is pretty straightforward. If you already have Cantarella sitting on the sidelines, Phrolova becomes almost a must-pull. She is the key to unlocking a character you have already invested in. But if you already built strong fusion characters like Brand or Changli, then Lupa is the clear choice to complete that team and
I'm gonna just get them both.
Maximize its potential. It is a choice between activating a dormant character or completing an existing powerful team composition. So with Phrolova, what we are left with is a character born from a messy dramatic leak who then sparked a genuine debate about morality and storytelling, all while potentially fixing a long-standing gameplay problem. It really is.
I'm gonna wait to see the story before I freak out about the story. Yeah, that's how I play the game. I'll wait till all the information is present. I ain't gonna freak the fuck out over nothing yet.
Is the perfect storm of drama, lore, and meta all converging on a single character. And it is a good example of how even though Kuro games might be getting better and more professional with their marketing, it is the community's reaction and the stories behind the characters that are always more interesting to watch unfold. But that is my take. I am curious to how you all think. What is your take on?
Yeah, I think they should execute the guy that leaked it. That's pretty much it.